Hi, I'm Roel Weerdenburg. I'm a composer, sonic designer, and I build audio and video installations.
I want to talk about Don't Mess With My Head, and I want to know why and how did you have the idea for this project?
At some point I had my panoptical installation installed at Gogpot Festival in Enschede. And Henrietta Muller, she works at the Worm in Rotterdam. It's this big creative hub in the city center. And she was at Gogpot. She saw my work there, and at some point she approached me. It was in the middle of the pandemic if I wanted to do an installation at the Worm via a residency. Yeah, we started talking about what we want, and we pinpointed the day for the residency. And the whole idea was to create a tool to display works there, because they do a lot of different projects and they have a big movie archive. It used to be, or they still have a cinema there. Recently they also had a project there with a lot of different filmmakers, local and international. They wanted to have an installation that could display all these works and at the same time give this this feeling of a very overwhelming piece. So it had to be big and it had to be powerful, and that's why they approached me. The idea was to have all these images combined and to have very soothing and chill and ambient images, but at the same time very intense and weird and abstract things. And the idea was to resemble the whole feeling everybody had during the pandemic, because we were all so overwhelmed with the news that we got, and that's also why the title was called that. It was about mass media and about our heads being messed with and all these different impressions that came in, all the different social struggles that were going on and all the creative output that people were not able to give because everything was closed. So this whole project was about displaying and redistributing all these different works and all these different creative ideas.
Did you select it, or they were given to you and say, hey, work with this?
Henrietta herself, she curated this project or did the production of it. And she also had a lot of the connections with the filmmakers from the Worm, or at the Worm. So she delivered a lot of these videos. But I also had the freedom to choose some of the works myself from friends and from connections that I built up over the past years. There's also a work of it in there that's myself. So
as a filmmaker?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not really a filmmaker. I'm more of an image designer. So this eye, it should be somewhere in here as well. I made that, and it's a very simple loop.
How do you make it?
So this is made with video mixers, like this unit. It's an old MX-50 video mixer, very famous and infamous in the VJ scene and also in video production. And what I do with that is I send test signal generators. They send out video signal to it. And in that video mixer you can send the output back into the input, so it starts feedbacking. And you can connect a camera to it that's pointed at the screen, so that also starts feedbacking. And then this diamond shape, it's like a transition. So in the outside you have it's one scene, and in the inside of the diamond it's the other scene. And then you mix that and you loop it, feedback loop it, and distort it and glitch it. And that's how I usually make my video.
And how does it sound?
This sounds like noise. But the whole work, yeah, it was very different. We had all these different images and videos looping. And then there was one section and that displayed the videos that were also giving audio. And there were videos of people talking, having reflections on their situation in the pandemic. And there were also videos with music, self-made music or other music. There's a recording of a demonstration at the refugee deportation center in Rotterdam, and then you hear the music and the chants of people that are doing the demonstration. So it's really diverse. It's like there's techno music in there, there's hip hop in there. It's very diverse. The biggest challenge at that residency was that it's in Rotterdam and all my stuff was here in Utrecht. Every time I had to bring stuff there, I had to rent a new van, bring it there, and then it's in the city center, so it's really tricky to park there. And you have to be really well prepared to make sure that you don't rent a van all the time, but that everything is in there already. So it was a bit of a hassle sometimes to get all the tools that I really need there. They also have tools there. They also have a lot of material there, but you work the best with your own equipment and with your own tools. Also, it was really in the middle of the pandemic, so there was a lockdown going on in the place. You needed to wear masks inside if you walked around, and it was very tricky to work together with people. And yeah, that was a big challenge those days.
Could you collaborate with the filmmakers to make this?
No, that was the filmmakers themselves. That was all on distance. So they were at home and the videos were already made, or they still had to make an edit. So I only had digital contact with them via email or messengers. Yeah, that was really unfortunate because of course you would like to have a direct contact and have personal contact with people, especially if they're going to be part of your work. But yeah, that was not possible, unfortunately. We did invite them to the final opening. And some were able to show up, but other people, they come from Groningen in the north, so it's a big travel. And yeah, we offered to reimburse their train tickets, but still it's really hard to plan this. So I hope by now, because there's a permanent part there, that they have visited and that they have checked it out.
Did you hear any feedback from them?
Yeah, I think everybody was very happy, enthusiastic about it. It was a very, it's what I like to do is create very impressive works, and that is really overwhelming almost with all kinds of different lights, and that really worked out, and people were really happy to see their work being part of this big installation. Also because it was one of the first things possible again with the opening event. No, we had some ideas of what video should be included. We wanted some things that had to do with recent events. So there was a lot of demonstrations going on in the US with the Black Lives Matter movement. Well, there was this demonstration at the refugee deportation center in Rotterdam. So we wanted to incorporate some of those actualities, and of course the pandemic, all the news and all the experiences of people. We really wanted to incorporate that. And at the same time, we wanted to have more abstract video to create this balance between very intense and recognizable things and more abstract and distant things. Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget, there's more to watch.